Welcome to Alan Combs Versus, where we discuss some of the more controversial things said in the recent news cycle on both traditional and digital media. The epitome of what we'd like to call around here fair and balanced. Joining me today via Skype, founder, chairman, Faith and Freedom Coalition, Ralph Reed. Ralph, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it very much.
You bet, Alan. Good to be with you.
You said about Donald Trump, you said this is a person, and the reason you believe evangelicals are supporting him because he's got fealty to positions on, on life, for example, the life issue, traditional marriage, and support for the state of Israel. He was pro-choice till recently, married 3 times, cheated on his wife, and Steve Bannon has said he doesn't want his kids going to school with whiny Jews. Are you having any difficulty supporting Donald Trump?
No, and I think it's not really accurate to say that he was pro-abortion until recently. The last time that I am aware of that he made any public statement indicating he was pro-choice was 1999 in an interview with Meet the Press. Now, there may be some later, Alan, but that's the only one I'm aware of. I've known Donald Trump for roughly 6 years, and during that entire period, he's been pro-life, and there's a long and celebrated history, Alan, of people of faith supporting people who have had a change of heart on this issue. That was true of George H.W. Bush, who was pro-choice when he ran in 80, was pro-life in 88 and won 80% of the evangelical vote. Ronald Reagan, remember, signed the most liberal abortion law in America as governor of California, and they supported him after he had a strong change of heart.
Here's a guy, though, look, I understand, there are many evangelicals like yourself who do support him. There are many, for example, though, like, for example, Russell Moore, the Southern Baptist leader, who says his reality television moral sewage and that he embodies a worldview incompatible with Christianity. Why are so many of your evangelical brethren saying things like Mr. Moore?
Well, I have a great deal of respect for Russell, and he's a dear friend of mine, and we've worked together on a lot of issues, including faith-based and biblically-based immigration reform. And there are going to be reasonable people of very good will and the same faith who come down in different places. But the fact is that while there are significant and notable exceptions to this rule, the overwhelming preponderance of data demonstrates that evangelical voters cast votes the way most other voters do, based on issues that they care about, and those issues, not singularly, but right to life, traditional marriage, support for Israel, opposition to the Iran nuclear deal, support for religious freedom, things like the appointment of conservative judges who will be strict constitutionalists. On every one of these areas, Trump agrees wholeheartedly with evangelicals, and that's why, Alan, in the Pew Research poll, he's winning 78% of the evangelical
I know he is,
vote.
That's what astounds me.
And he won the evangelical vote in the primaries. So I'm not saying that there aren't exceptions. There are exceptions.
Is there anything about him on the issue of God that troubles you? Says he doesn't ask for forgiveness, doesn't really talk to God, waves the Bible, 2 Corinthians, visits a black church, seems not to really be knowing what, doesn't speak the language of evangelicals. Does any of this bother you?
No. And the reason why, very simply stated, is, as I argued in an op-ed that I published in the Wall Street Journal, I think back in March or April, evangelicals, contrary to the stereotype, are not driven by identity politics. In other words, they don't vote for somebody because they share their theology or they go to the same church as they do. They have voted for people who don't share their faith. Mitt Romney was a Mormon, which many evangelicals find that theology to be anathema to them. But they supported him overwhelmingly. Why? Because of the issue positions that he took. So they're not really asking that Donald Trump be a saint or that he be a member of their same church or hold to their same theology. They want to know what kind of issue positions he's going to take, and is he going to fight and lead on those issues?
Well, on the issue of issues, he's gone back and forth in the last week on immigration, softening, hardening, softening, hardening. He has changed his position on a whole range of issues. Gave more money to Democrats over the years. Took positions totally at odds with everything Republicans stand for. How do you believe that anything he says today relates to anything he might do should he win the presidency?
Well, as I said before, Alan, evangelicals and other people of faith are, by both theology and temperament, predisposed to welcome a convert. They do it every day in their churches and houses of worship. They take people who yesterday, not 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but who yesterday were leading lives and advocating positions totally contrary to their own. And once those people walk down the aisle, either literally or figuratively, and swear fealty to their beliefs, they accept them. They don't kick them in the teeth.
So you believe him when he swears fealty. You believe
them.
he's being honest now when he swears fealty. You believe him.
I believe he is, but one thing that I've really argued, and I'm not particularizing this observation to Donald Trump, but I have said that I can't judge someone's heart. Only God can judge a person's soul and their heart. The thing that matters, whether it's to us or to labor unions or to Planned Parenthood or the NRA or any other constituency or organization, in my case Faith and Freedom Coalition, is do you take the issue positions that we advocate as a matter of sound public policy?
All right, Ralph,
will you fight and lead on those issues?
I thank you very much for talking to us. Much appreciated. Be sure to follow
You bet, Alan.
Ralph on Twitter at Ralph Reed. I'm Alan Combs. Thanks for watching.